Hey, this is Travis, and I'm here with my sister-in-law, Addie.
Hello.
Addie's a wonderful cook, but also has an amazing artistic eye. So Addie, what are we making today?
We're gonna do a sheet pan dinner. We're gonna roast up some pork tenderloins, roast up some potatoes and some veggies.
And the key to it is the plating, because she can take this really simple dinner, and the plating at the end is really what makes it, and it's gonna make it great for you and your family.
Yeah, and the fun thing about this is it's not actually a recipe. It's just kind of throwing some things together and roasting them up. So
Great, so let's get started.
Okay.
What do we start with?
I'm gonna do the pork first so it can kind of hang out in the fridge for a little bit while we do everything else. So we're gonna start with the pork tenderloins. I'm gonna do about a spoonful mustard on each one. Cover the top. Just gives it really good flavor while it's cooking. And then I'm gonna cover both of them with a little olive oil. A little garlic salt. If you don't like garlic, you could just do a little kosher salt. And a little pepper. So I'm gonna add a little paprika. I think the color is really great on it when it's done cooking. Even sometimes if I have extra spice, throw it on the side. And I'm gonna put a little fresh thyme over the top. Give it a nice fresh flavor while it's cooking. And then I'm gonna put it in the fridge while we get everything else ready.
All right, so now we're on to potatoes.
Yep, we're gonna roast up some potatoes, super simple. These are little baby potatoes. They come pre-washed, ready to go. They're so tiny, we don't even need to cut them up, but you just wanna make sure they're in a nice single layer. They can kind of move around in the pan. That way they can roast up really well all around. We'll do a little olive oil, and I just like to kind of just cover them all around, kind of generously. A little garlic salt, same thing, just generously all over the potatoes.
And so you're using a lot of garlic salt.
Yep, it's an easy, I love it as a go-to. I use kosher salt, garlic salt, but I like garlic salt when I'm doing potatoes, veggies. Okay. Adds a little extra flavor while you're cooking. A little pepper. And there we go. So we're gonna put the potatoes in the oven at about 400. And they'll roast up anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes.
Now it's time for vegetables.
Yep, we're gonna roast up some veggies. So I have some green beans we got at the store. I had some leftover butternut squash. We'll throw that in the mix. Right. And some carrots. Great. And we'll get them ready, season them with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and roast them up in the oven.
So what other vegetables can you use?
I use usually anything I have or anything that looks good at the store. So like zucchini, yellow squash, red onion, bell peppers. Okay. Like I would say anything you have that looks good, or broccoli, anything that's sitting in the fridge, toss it in, it'll be great roasted. Right,
it'll roast up on those sheet pans.
Yep.
Sheet pans are actually the key. I love my sheet pans.
For real, and actually my sheet pans, restaurant supply store, like $5 to $10. Yeah. They're my favorite ones.
Me too.
Prepping the carrots. I like getting the carrots if you can with the tops on. I just feel like they're a little fresher, I don't know. So I cut the tops off. We're gonna peel them a little bit and just a nice big chunk, not too small, but chop them up into nice big chunks and then mix it all over here with the veg. We're gonna do a little olive oil, just generously cover everything, a little salt and pepper. And then I just give it a little shake. And we will put this in the oven with the potatoes and let it cook up for about 20 minutes.
So is it time for the chimichurri?
It's time for the chimichurri.
All right.
Yep. Chimichurri ingredients: Italian parsley, some oregano, some rosemary, some jalapenos, some lime. I like to add in, it's not traditional, but I usually add in a little spinach.
Spinach. I think it's good for spinach here.
It started when the kiddos were little. They would like chimichurri, and so I add in some spinach. They get a little extra veg. I feel like it just kind of adds a little like extra green to the whole thing. Yeah. So I usually just toss in a little, and we'll do some olive oil, crushed red pepper, salt, get it going. So I'm gonna put the parsley in first. I've already removed most of the stems. If you have a little bit of the thinner stems, totally fine. Just gonna fill up the food processor with the parsley. The oregano, just gonna take it, strip the stems from the top towards the bottom, and kind of pinch the top stems off and ditch that rough, thick stem there. And then same thing with the rosemary. The stem's just way too woody and thick. So you just wanna kind of strip off from the top to the bottom the leaves, and then kind of just pinch those top leaves off. Get all that good stuff in there. And then I'm gonna take the jalapenos. We totally don't mind spicy, so I will just add these guys in like membrane, seeds, the whole deal. I'm gonna start out with one. I'm gonna get this one ready. I'm gonna start out with one. If it's got enough heat, we'll go with that. Same thing with the lime. I'll start out with one. If it's got enough juice, then we'll go with that. If not, we'll add a little more. So I'm just gonna get some lime juice in there. This is a super juicy lime, so I bet one's gonna be great. I'm gonna take a little bit of red wine vinegar, just kind of a couple little dashes. You can always add more if you need it. A little bit of crushed red pepper. Start out with a little, you can always add more if you need it. And a little salt. Start out with about like a teaspoon or so, and then just see how it tastes. I'm gonna take out this middle part of the lid, get this going, and after everything starts chopping pretty well, I'll mix in some olive oil. Sometimes you have to kind of adjust a little bit, get all that down. I'm gonna stream in some olive oil till it kind of starts to become a sauce. When it kind of starts to come together, I'll add the spinach in and we'll give it a taste, see where we're at. Okay, so I'm gonna add the spinach in. Get those last few little pieces. Okay. Mix this up. And then once it gets going, I'll see if I need some more olive oil. Maybe just a little. You want it kind of thick, but a little saucy. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of taste it, kind of see where we're at, see what it needs. I'm pretty close. It's pretty great. I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt. And the flavors will kind of meld together. So it's kind of nice to let it hang out for a little bit. And that's good. And then we'll just place it in a bowl, let it sit while we get everything else ready to go. There we go.
I'm ready to taste this chimichurri.
Check it out.
Pick it up. Wow.
It's good, right?
It's really good.
Nice little kick.
It's got a kick from red pepper and the jalapeno. It's a little different.
Yep.
And
like tang.
Yeah, tang, but then the lime kind of wakes everything up and you get that fresh herb flavor.
It's fantastic, like potatoes. My favorite with the potatoes, awesome on the pork, and actually with the vegetables too. So yeah, it's fun. If you have extra, it's super great mixed in as a salad dressing. So put some on your salad, add a little olive oil or vinegar if you want. So yeah.
Yeah, really good. Next.
Yes.
We ready to put the pork tenderloins in?
We are ready to put the pork tenderloins in.
We're ready to put the pork tenderloins
last.
in.
It is time.
Yes.
So I'm gonna check on the potatoes. They should be about done by now. They've been hanging out on this bottom rack, so the potatoes are getting nice and golden. So these are about done, so I'm gonna take these out. We're gonna give the veggies just a little shake, just to make sure they're all getting covered in the oil and all cooking evenly. So we'll just kind of mix it around, shake them up. Make sure they're all kind of flat, and then we're gonna place the pork in the oven. These are gonna take probably about 20 minutes. I'll just kind of keep my eye on them as they're cooking, and I'll let the veggies go a little bit longer on top.
Okay, so the tenderloins are in the oven.
Tenderloins in the oven, 20 minutes. Perfect amount of time to have a glass of rosé. Cheers. So I'm just gonna check on the pork. It's been about 25 minutes or so. I'm just gonna check them. We want them to be about about 138 when we pull them out. So just gonna kind of see, you don't want it you kind of want it right towards the middle. So we're reading right in about 140. So we should be good to take these out. I'm gonna check this guy. Yep, this guy's reading right around 138. So sometimes I'll do it by feel too. It should feel like it has a little give back when you push on them. So it shouldn't feel mushy. It's not gonna feel really hard, but it should have a nice kind of little spring back when you test them. So you wanna kind of test them in like the thickest part. So those feel great, they look great. So I'm gonna take these out, let them rest. So what we're gonna do is let it hang out here. I'll move it to a cutting board. After 5 or 10 minutes, we'll slice it up, get it on the plate.
Okay, now the meat is cooked and rested, and now it's ready to plate.
Correct.
And this is where Addie really shines, why I have her here for you guys. All right, Addie, what do we do first?
Okay, well, we're gonna slice this up in just a minute, but it's ready to go. We got the chimichurri hanging out on our platter. This is just a simple white platter. They're my favorite. You can get them at Target, wherever you're at. Just get some nice big white platters. I've just slowly collected some. I'm gonna grab the potatoes. They are just hanging out here, ready to go. So we got the potatoes. We're gonna put this on the platter first. And grab this. And so what I'm gonna do is just start kind of bunching them all together in this one little part of the platter. A slice, and it's great. It's like with pork, a little pink is great. Okay, so everything's been roasted up, and as you can see, we've plated it. So what I've done is taken all the potatoes, kind of made sure they're nice and tight in a pile all together. And then everything kind of has their own little place. We got the sauce on there, so this is literally like the whole meal. And what I think is fun is you can just pick up the whole thing, take it to the table, and it's a fun presentation. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little salt and pepper on for flavoring, and also it just kind of looks nice to like finish it out. This is some sea salt flakes. So I'm just gonna put a little across here, gives it a nice little crunch at the end. Sea salt flakes aren't something that you would like cook with, but at the end, just like a little finishing, it adds like a nice little crunch. It's not gonna be super salty, but it's a nice finish, and it's enough that you can actually see it when you finish.
Wow, Addie, that is gorgeous.
Thanks, Trav.
Like,
and super simple, right?
Yeah,
like
super
simple, not hard. I think it's just bunching it all together, putting the sauce with it, different colors. It's fun, it's super simple, but it's kind of a wow factor too, because you can just pick it up and take it to the table, and your guests are like, wow.
Right.
Yeah. Just a little extra thought, like a little extra step.
Yeah, and you're thinking like, wow, she must have spent hours doing this. And
no. Tossed it in the oven on the sheet pans. Yeah, like.
This took you, what, 10 minutes maybe?
I was gonna say,
like 5?
very little. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do this at home.
Yes.
You can take the extra 5 minutes.
Just get a nice big platter, put whatever you're making on there, especially if it's like a roasted sheet pan dinner. Yeah, really easy.
Gorgeous, awesome. Well, let's get it on some plates.
Okay,
and let's
plate
eat
it up. Get some potatoes, a little bit of our roasted veggies, a few slices of our meat. I like to kind of drizzle some chimichurri over most of everything. So I'll just put a little over the meat, put a little over the potatoes, and there you go.
All right, and that is Addie's sheet pan dinner and plating.
Yep, there it is.
Thanks, Addie, for letting me be here in your kitchen. And
thanks for coming and cooking and eating with me. It's really fun.
Even though I didn't cook anything, but I do. If you're watching my videos, I do cook at home.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot from her, especially with plating and presentation. She's just got an eye, and But like, these are tips that you can use.
This is super simple.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. For sure.
Pork's great, cooked, tender. The chimichurri really does add something.
And chimichurri is like kind of fresh, a little citrusy.
Oh yeah.
I think chimichurri with the potatoes is my fave, so I love that.
Let me try that.
Okay. It's like my unexpected fave.
Oh yeah, wow. Bon appetit, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's it from Addie's Kitchen. Hit the like button, give me a follow, hit that notification bell, you won't miss any videos. Right, Scouty? Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.